Hello, I'm Marcus Tomlinson, founder of the Mindset Revolution, but more importantly today I'm talking to you in my capacity as an ambassador for Happy Days Children's Charity. Now, for everyone at the moment, this is an incredibly trying time. For those people who are having to work with children or have children with special needs, learning disabilities, then it's possibly more challenging than ever before. So we hope you find this short video of some benefit, which is trying to think of various ways to help you stay more positive during this crisis. In addition to that, we'd like to offer help and support to any parents in the form of group webinars around mindfulness and well-being. They're going to be completely free. All you have to do is get in touch with the charity, and once there's enough of you, we'll hold a special webinar and just try and give you some tips and tricks on how what's going on here can in some ways influence what's going on out there. In addition to that, if anyone needs one-to-one private personal coaching or help, we have cognitive therapists as well as normal coaches, everyday coaches, who will be able to help you, and we're offering a 50% discount for any one-to-one work throughout the whole of this challenging situation. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the next video. There's details of how to get in touch at the end. Wishing you the very, very best to make sure life can be as bearable as possible, if not even fun, during this crisis. Have a fantastic day. Hello. Today, I'd like to share 7 ways mindfulness and mindset can help you through one of the most challenging times some of us have ever faced. Over the next 15 minutes or so, I hope you feel inspired to think a little differently in here so you can feel more in control of what's going on out there. Now, it's a very scary time. There's doom and gloom everywhere. Many people have suffered loss, and there's so much frustration, anxiety and worry in the world right now. Some people want to apportion blame, and sadly I think there's too much unfounded finger pointing and some misdirected anger. With all this uncertainty and confusion, it can be a real challenge to remember what's still good and bright in our lives. Over the next few minutes, I'd like to give you the opportunity to reframe your thinking, to take control of your thoughts and be the best you can be throughout this crisis. Because now more than ever, it's time to be the best version of ourselves. It's good for you, your loved ones, and also the people you work with. And I'd like to begin by asking you to embrace the concept that you are what you think about the most. You are what you think about the most. I'll say it one more time. You really are the product of your most dominant and frequent thoughts. You are what you think about the most. So why not make your thoughts magnificent? If you choose magnificent thoughts, you're going to add layers of protection, if you like, to yourself, which will empower you to feel more positive, proactive, and productive in everything you do. So here are 7 powerful ways you can be mindful of your thinking every single day. Number 1, be kind. Don't score points. In times of chaos or threat, it's natural to want to fight back and get mini wins all the time. Now, while it's great to be the best you can be, what's even more powerful is being kind. People sometimes remember what you say. They often remember what you do, but they always remember how you made them feel. Be kind, help them feel great. And you know what? You will too. Number 2 is see the same. Now, the world's media, social media, and even some people we know are getting us to focus on our differences. And these may be geographic, cultural, religious, skin colour, sex or sexuality. So let's just stop this and stop it now. And we do that by switching our focus from our differences to our similarities. It really is that simple. We all have goals, hopes, aspirations for ourselves and our loved ones that are generally the same rather than different. I've yet, for example, to meet a human being who, when you smile at them, they don't smile back. I've yet to meet a human being who doesn't want to love and be loved by others. I've yet to meet a human being who isn't moved by the sound of a laughing child or even an octogenarian laughing. And I would suggest to you that if you sat down with anyone of sound mind on this planet, if you could have a really honest conversation or chat with them, and then both draw up a list of all the things that are truly important to you both, that the dreams and desires you both hold most dear on that list would read as almost identical. So for a while, forget the negative news media, forget negative social influencing and negative people. Choose to see what brings you closer to everyone you meet. Set aside difference, see the same. Number 3 is circle of influence. And we're in information overload right now, not just because of COVID, but in general. Since the invention of the internet, we have an ever increasing number of ways to get information 24/7. For example, over 300 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube every single minute. It's almost impossible for us to understand how much data is out there. And the good news is that most or much of this data is really helpful and adds a lot of value to our everyday lives. The bad news, however, well, it's the news, the media industry, because the news is focused on amplifying the worst, most shocking, outrageous and disturbing events across the world. So when we watch it, we start to feel sad, threatened, anxious, and even start to believe that everything everywhere is going wrong, because that's what the screen is telling us. Our perception of the world becomes our reality. And we seem to forget, or it doesn't really matter, that millions of beautiful acts of kindness, joy, and love are taking place every minute of every day. We get distracted from them. We get distracted from this wonderful life by the negative messages that come from the news and other sources. These other sources, by the way, for me, include many TV soaps, and also negative people. We all kind of know someone who's a bit of a mood hoover or an energy vampire. So my suggestion is that you create a beautiful circle of influence in your life. And this is both in respect of what you allow to influence you, and of course how you choose to influence others. So for a while, forget the world stage, because unless you have influence over events that are happening, disengage. Don't carry around the negativity or wear a cloak of sadness for things over which you have no immediate control. So the quickest fix for me is to make sure that for, say, 21 days, you do not watch the news unless it's crucial to your personal or professional safety. Turn off angry or aggressive TV programs that are bitter or unkind, especially those soaps. And keep away from negative or unhelpful people. Allow only those people and things into your circle of influence that add value to your life in a positive way and have real meaning and relevance to you right now. Incidentally, I like to imagine we've got a little bank inside of us, and we just top it up with either top it up with positive thoughts, or, yeah, in fairness, I was right, negative thoughts which take away from it. So we're often in imbalance. And the simple fact is, the more positive thoughts you deposit, then the more able you are to cope with any challenges that life has. You'll be more empowered if you just feed that bank with wonderful thoughts, and then you can face these challenging situations with good grace and enthusiasm and in a more calm way. Number 4 is beautiful breathing. Now, in order to quickly attain a sense of calm and well-being, beautiful breathing is an easy and enjoyable practice. And this is a habit you can form to literally breathe life into yourself. So this is what it's all about. Whenever you feel you can, or the need, take 10 considered double out breaths. And by this I mean you breathe in slowly and gently, and as you do so, silently count how long it takes to fill your lungs. So let's say it's 5 seconds. Then hold the breath for 1 second and slowly exhale, nice and gently, for 10 seconds, double whatever the in-breath was. Do this 10 times and you'll be reoxygenating your blood, and in so doing, helping your system to rebalance. Now, when you first try this, it's quite natural to have a few false starts, And if you do, just go back to regular breathing for a second. It's okay, it's quite normal. But with a little practice, you will master this technique. And once you've tried it a few times, you can choose to practice this technique whenever you need it, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. So take beautiful breaths whenever you wish. The next thing, I think we're at number 5, is active mindfulness walking. Walking in nature, or I don't know, a forest or by the water, just somehow makes us feel better, maybe more connected or even more grounded to the earth. Now, at the moment, it's not always possible to take time to do this. So whenever I get a chance to walk, I practice active mindfulness walking. And quite simply, this means when I walk to or from work or to the shops or whatever, I notice anything that grows. Bushes, grass, flowers, and trees, anything that is just got life in it. And if possible, I stop for a minute and take in the wonder or form of an interesting tree that might be bursting through the concrete jungle, or even the radiant colours emanating from a flower basket outside a shop. Just seek out natural beauty wherever you can. And this kind of connection with nature will help fuel your inner calm. Now, of course, at the moment, a lot of people are working from home and not making the normal commute. So I've got a suggestion which is really helpful for defining our days here. So at the start, to signal, if you like, the start or end of your day and help define a really healthy line between work and play, go outside first thing in the morning. Walk around the block if you have to, or maybe to a park. Same thing again in the evening. Do this morning and evening, preferably at lunchtime as well if you can, to create a symbolic commute. And as you do so, seek out as much natural wonder as you can on your journey. Anything you can find. I promise you'll feel a little more refreshed, add a sense of calm to your day, and feel more able to enjoy the challenges of the day ahead. Practice active mindfulness walking as often as you can. It works. Number 6, one of my favourites, is desk dancing. Now, for many of us, this is about overcoming Zoom fatigue. I know not everyone's on it, but most people are on some sort of screen. And because we're sat down so much longer at the moment, often staring up to the screens or with multitudes of people staring back at us digitally on a daily basis, then it's a different dynamic to the normal human interaction. It seems our brains process all this in a different way that's somehow more tiring. And it's partly because we're not breaking the normal cycle of meetings by travelling to and from physically between our appointments or whatever we're doing. And this can get really exhausting. There is a solution, and I've already given it away. It's the title of this section. And what this is based on is pretty much everyone I know has at least one favourite song that makes them feel like they have to get up and dance. The second the song comes on the radio or in a club or maybe in the car, there's some invisible force that gets us into motion and we just have to move around, maybe even singing the words out at the top of our voices. So, do this privately or even as a group. Some people I've been sharing this with are getting up in groups and doing it on Zoom meetings. But do it in a way that makes you smile. Find that song, have it ready to play in between, before or after as many meetings as you can. For those that can, stand up at your desk and really dance. I mean, really go for it. Bounce around like you just don't care and get the blood pumping, get those endorphins flowing, and you'll smile, you'll laugh, and you'll have boundless energy for every meeting and beyond. And most of us, I don't think, dance enough in life in general. So in these challenging times, own it. Dance around your room if you can, or if you can't, just wiggle like crazy in your chair. Do whatever you can do to really get the positive vibrations from your favourite song and energize yourself, your day, by dancing at your desk. Number 7 is the miracle mantras. Now, one of the best ways to ensure you are mindful every day is the use of mantras or affirmations to help your brain focus on what you really want. Now, to ensure you develop a magnificent mindset and maintain it, miracle mantras are invaluable. And we could spend a whole day just on this, but to get you started, I'd like to remind you that we are what we think about the most. So let's give our brain some quality information to focus on. Now, these 3 miracle mantras I'll share with you now have helped me, some of the most important ones. Number 1 being, don't judge others who are rude or angry, because most people are fighting a battle we know nothing about. And this has been really helpful because it allows you to have control about how you feel when you meet people who may upset you. And it's not about excusing their behavior, it's about you being able to respond rather than react in life. And it's so much better to respond and take a moment than just react and maybe fly off the handle. It's very liberating. The second mantra is, I am super focused and ready to have a positive day. I love this one. It doesn't matter whether you are super positive and ready to have a great day or not. The point is, the miracle mantra guides your brain into a state where it's really ready to think about and then maybe have a positive and focused day. You are what you think. Give yourself some great stuff to think. The third one is, I am calm and relaxed whenever I choose, which helps me make great decisions. Now, this is really a joy. We make our best quality decisions when we are calm and relaxed. Now, this instruction, combined with all the other techniques I've shared in this video, means your brain has a clear understanding of how you want to think, feel and act. And then it's going to do everything in its power to bring about that reality. So, say your miracle mantras as many times a day as you can. Practice being mindful at every opportunity, because when you change the world in here, you change the world out there. I hope you found this helpful. Have a truly fantastic day. And as always, don't just dream it, be it.